Hey guys, so we're back. This is another piece on the Timberjack rebuild. Not trying to get too many pieces opened up and not together yet, but we're waiting for parts. So this right here is an Allison TTB. The B is for brake. It's got an internal brake on it. 2220 I believe 1. I've seen 2 on other things, but as you can see right here, here's the rivets, and there is no data plate on this. So, from what I found out, the last digit is pretty much lining up what exact build it is, but I know I can get the guts I need for it. So this one had a whole bunch of metal and some chunks of what looked like brake band in the filter. So we'll take it all apart. There's the flex plate, torque converter. It's a twin disc style. Probably didn't help that these are supposed to be the cooling lines and they were looped back with no cooler, so that didn't help. And there's parking brake down here. That, of course, didn't have a lever on it, so I'll have to find one of those. If anybody knows of a parking brake assembly for one of these, give me a message. It does have the lever, and it feels like it probably works. We'll open it up and find out. It also has a hydraulic internal brake here. That's PTO takeoff, and then up here we got our hydraulic pump, charge pump behind it. Here's the valve body, and then while we're at it, we'll throw some seals in this as well. It's just the main valve body for the machine. Pretty sure that's just an O-ring set. So while it's here, we'll do that. But I'm going to set you up over here while I move you around a little bit as need be, and we will see what we find. We'll start by draining out the oil and see if there are any more surprises, but with any luck, this will just be red. But the way my stuff usually goes, it wouldn't surprise me if this is full of who knows what. Alright. I guess we'll start taking this thing apart. I guess the obvious choices are take off main components. Shifter, that was loose. Just loosened all these up. There's spacer on this guy and this guy, the valve body. Pop it up, and I don't really see any junk in there right now, but we'll have to take it apart and clean it out and look at it a little closer. I'm going to put this in the shop for now. Filter screen. So, hopefully you can see this. This is full of little chunks of metal and paint. That's not happy. There's a lot of metal chunks on here. We'll put all the parts in the shop as we go, just because we're working outside. If it gets dark, we can still work inside. So we got to pull the pump off, the valves off, and some lines off, and then maybe we'll do that while it drains out a little bit more, and then we'll go back to the covers. Alright, so we're going to take the valve body off. This is part of stripping this down. I'll take this into the shop. All the parts I'm taking in, we'll see if we can clean up and get done after dark when I got a little more time. Got to take a few of these main hoses off just to get to everything. You can leave it sorted together. It often makes it easier to figure out. And also, even if you're not filming, I'll take a lot of photos usually. The nice thing is I've been doing this for the channel is I've been able to look back at my video if I have a question on how something routes. Look back and see where I took it off of. So this valve, as I understand it from the book, for the purpose of if you're driving on the road, it's going to heat up the oil a lot more, and it sends a bunch more through the cooler. And if you're driving in the woods, you can not put it through the cooler. I'm not quite sure why you'd not put it through the cooler, but that's my best understanding of what's going on with this. I'm really not sure kind of why you do that, but there's a reason for it. So, yeah, so this valve This is the output of the hydraulic pump. Comes in here for all the hydraulics. Part of it's probably steering stuff too, because this doesn't do the transmission. This is just hydraulics. Comes in here, and then it comes out on this side. You can select, I think you can proportionally select how much of each. This went to a cooler, and this went to the hydraulic valve. Main supply to the valve, which will do your steering, blade, winch. Choose how much cooler. So this is going in the shop, and we'll put this through the parts washer and probably throw a few fresh O-rings in it. As you can see, some of the steel lines were replaced with hose, but these first two are for the blade. Those are disconnected because the blade's not here. Yes, this is loose. I'll just take that off. Set that aside. We will clean all this out before we put it back. And then, let's see, these are disconnected already. And this set comes down, there's a block down here, which we'll take them off this block because we don't need the lines on here. Now these are just going into a little junction block. We'll take this whole plate off. It should gain us more access. Yep, 1 1/8 inches. Can't quite get the box on there. I can get an impact from this bottom one. That's just a stout little piece. That's going in the shop. Suppose we got to take these lines off for the filter housing. This is. See if I can leave the lines on the housing. We'll have to rinse those all out just because you know the system's contaminated from all the metal. It will be nice taking all this stuff off because these down here into the casting are Boss fittings. We'll change all those O-rings while we're in here. Could have something amazing, maybe a machine that doesn't leak too much. I won't say at all, because I've tried in the past to completely reseal my own machines and that's my own stuff. I don't know what it is, but it's almost impossible to stop every leak. I tried. Something always leaks. If it's for a customer, I can usually get it to work. Personal stuff, I don't know why. I think I'm just cursed. These are loose. These are just 2 bolts that hold this whole housing on. Just 2 of these case bolts, which also hold this bracket. Filter housing. Got some junk in it on the drive. So these are those fittings the other lines were connected to. Put this in the shop. We'll take it through the parts washer. Starting to look a little bit more manageable. We get all these odd pieces off. And I guess we can take this looped line off of here. It's just going to be in our way. I do have a new oil cooler for it. I'm not going to do all this work and not cool the transmission. That's not really a keeper. Actually, let me show you this. I just spotted something I didn't see from the other angle. So, over here is where the suction screen was. This stuff was all sitting in it. The lip of the opening there. Hopefully I can get to focus on it. Look at all that metal and junk. Big old flakes. So, that's why I think the transmission's bad. Won't have that much metal coming from nowhere. Well, at this point we have basically the two halves. We got to open up. We'll take the torque converter here. A little bit loose. That probably needs bearings in it. We'll put them in regardless. Take the flex plate out, and this whole housing half. One major piece. On the other side, we got the brake assembly, and I guess we got the parking brake down there, and the hydraulic pump and the charge pump for this. So those are kind of what's left here.